The cheaters and the cheated. Srila Prabhupada. Natural phenomenon such as the law of gravity or weightlessness are achintya shakti, inconceivable energies, and real science means to understand what this achintya shakti. To observe a chain of events only from a certain point in time is unscientific and gives only incomplete knowledge. We must know where things begin. If we carry our investigation far enough, we will find that the origin of nature is achintya shakti. For example, with brain, brush, and color, we can paint a flower. But we cannot conceive how vegetation throughout the whole earth is automatically growing and fructifying. We can explain the painted flower, but we cannot explain the real flower. Scientists actually cannot explain biological growth. They simply juggle words like molecule and chromosome, but they cannot actually explain the phenomenon. The essential fault of the so-called scientists is that they have adopted the inductive process to arrive at their conclusions. For example, if a scientist wants to determine by the inductive process whether or not man is mortal, he must study every man to try to discover if some or one of them may be immortal. The scientists say, quote, "I cannot accept the proposition that all men are mortal. There may be some men who are immortal. I have not yet seen every man, therefore how can I accept that man is mortal?" End quote. This is called the inductive process. And the deductive process means that your father, your teacher, or your guru says that man is mortal, and you accept it. Dr. Singh. So there is an ascending process for gaining knowledge and a descending process. Srila Prabhupada. Yes. The ascending process will never be successful because it relies on the information gathered through the senses, and the senses are imperfect. So we accept the descending process. God cannot be known by the inductive process. Therefore, he is called adhoksaja, which means, quote, unknowable by direct perception, end quote. The scientists say there is no God because they are trying to understand him by direct perception. But he is a adhoksaja. Therefore, the scientists are ignorant of God because they are missing the method of knowing him. In order to understand the transcendental science, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master, hear from him submissively, and render service to him. Lord Krishna explains that in the Bhagavad Gita 4:34. Tadvidi paripatena pariprashnena sevya. My Guru Maharaj once said, quote, "The modern world is a society of the cheaters and the cheated," end quote. Unfortunately, the cheated are eulogizing the cheaters, and the small cheaters are worshiping the great cheaters. Suppose a flock of asses comes and eulogizes me, saying, quote, "Oh, you are Jagat Guru," end quote. What is the value of their praise? But if a gentleman or learned man gives praise, his words have some value. Generally, however, the persons who are praising and those who are being praised are both ignorant. As the Vedas put it, samstuta purusha pashu, quote, a big animal is being praised by a small animal, end quote.